Hey guys, this is Jeff with your Tarot Hit of the Day. We're looking at that thing that's on your mind most, that thing that you're most wanted to get into, that thing that you most want to get out of, that thing you most want to get through. There's three really important aspects that we can look at in regards to that subject for you, and that is what is not serving you in that situation. What is serving you in that situation? And then was there any sort of advice or any sort of other new perspective that you could offer in that situation? So those are three positions that we're going to lay out right here. This is what is not serving you. That's the Tower reversed. This is what is serving you. That wonderful star card. And then the best advice or insight that you can get moving forward is the Knight of Wands, and it comes in reversed. Let's start at the beginning. The things that are not serving you the most. We talk about this Tower card very often. Right side up, it is the natural tendency for the world to just eliminate obstacles for you and things that are holding you back and trying to redirect you into proper, easier, more fun path forward. When it comes in reversed, understand that this is in the final, last line of those major cards 15 through 21, that are guided by your higher self to align for you, because you guaranteed, you promised, you intended upon coming into this life to be leaving it a brighter wattage, more important, with a lot more experience. And whenever this card comes in right side up, it is accepting these big changes that happen through some, through their egoic eyes, might say catastrophe or something really crazily unfair. When it comes in reversed, it means that you're not accepting that the things, the path that has gotten you to right where you are now, those failures, whenever you look back, those weren't failures, those are just feedback to kind of get you on a little bit different path. So what's not serving you is to continue to view failures and challenges as something that is not there to help you and actually ultimately guide you. It's not helping you to think like that. Whenever things go to hell around you, there has to be a sense of gratitude, because that is this aligning for you, most especially whenever those things have nothing to do with you and you're not at fault or having to do any influence at all. Okay? So stop rejecting that those things are just there as pure pains in your bottom. Okay? This star, this is what is working for you, is your time in that space after, naturally, it literally is the card after the Tower card, where you get to just rejuvenate, rest, reevaluate, replan, and begin to feed those positive emotions through this time of peace and stillness that ultimately drive your behavior forward. Because behavior for action's sake, just to get something done, is about as fruitless as you can imagine. Whenever you take the time in this stage, this wonderful star stage, still in the world, literally in this particular character, you're still kind of in the water above it, and there's this wonderful balance and symmetry in this card. That this tells you to feed those cups full of positive emotion after this time that you are now accepting. Let's hope that this helps you change your reframe and association with that past. And now that you're accepting, you can then literally be building that kinetic energy, that pulling back of that arrow before you let it go, because of this resting stage, this re-evaluation stage, this re-energizing your emotional body stage, so that whenever your action takes place, then it really truly has meaning. Okay, this is what's serving you the most, is this time away from working on this thing that you've been working on. Okay, so take that time, take it as a sign and absolute guidance that you need to be doing more of just the filling the just potential bottoms just before you let it go. All right. Sound effects are going to cost you guys extra. This is the best course of action forward. This is the Knight of Wands. Any sort of like adventure-y feeling is how this feels whenever this comes in like that. We're not getting in too much of the imagery here. You can kind of get that this horse is definitely trotting, definitely moving forward. And in a sense, with a lot, look at with the hair being whipped in the back and stuff. In a lot of decks, the horse is really almost seems to be on fire in this suit of fire, of this suit of wands. And this, it encaptures the idea of just the adventure of doing of the life. But it came in reversed, remember? And if you choose to read reversals like I sometimes do, this is where this suggestion gets really interesting. Because you're looking at it not like an adventure, you're looking at it like a step-by-step. Perhaps this is a new way for you to look at it, and it is almost always a different avenue of how I would normally suggest this to a friend coming to me about the subject that you're thinking about. But this Knight of Wands reversed means you just don't go about it with a sense of adventure and movement and see what happens, because quite possibly that's what caused this tower in the past that you have been sort of rejecting that's happened, okay? Because even whenever you go full throttle, full forward force, and it still crashes, it's still giving you this feedback that perhaps that this is not the way. You can kind of see this looping around. This is how you did it before, this full sense of adventure, looping around and knocking down whatever you had going for you. And then this card comes in reverse because you've been sort of resisting that change, that feedback that told you what you were doing was not right. So what we do, rather than taking the passion of that knight straight side up where it just wants to act and be in the world and create this thing or stop this thing or continue this thing, we want to make it more of like a logical game. Bringing in more of your cognitive aspect, bringing in more of that wonderful swords energy is going to slow down the fire. It's going to slow down. It's like bringing in that extra air element of the swords to begin thinking about it more and becoming less like action. This is your best course forward in that particular subject in which you are inquiring by hitting this thing. All right? I hope it helps. It gives you some insights. Enjoy this time of potential, building potential. Get ready to get that thing moving. And then whenever you do, it becomes, try it this way just for a while, a logical step of one before the other, because you can clearly see what didn't work for you in the past, because it kept bringing back how you're reacting to the feedback of your failures here. So anyway, that may have helped. I hope it did. I hope you enjoy these beautiful cards under candlelight.